People really want to be out here living their Regina George fantasy. I want to like Instagram, man. I really do. I'm like, I fucking hate it here. And you know, this video would have been really funny if they said the feminism leaving my body when the bill comes. Because that would be a self-deprecating joke on the material reality of women. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's start with some good news. So YouTube has given me the community feature, and community feature ka fayda uthate hue I put up a poll asking you guys what kind of videos do you want to see. I have some planned out already, so I asked you guys in a poll if you wanted to see a new series where I talk about all the reads that should have stayed in drafts, or you wanted to watch me react to and read anti-feminist posts. And since most of the people wanted the first thing, here we are. Now this first reel is actually one from a subgenre of reels where people shit on reservation. So like anti-reservation reels are a thing on Instagram, and honestly all of them should have stayed in the drafts, but there are a few that have caught my eye, so I really wanted to address them. So this first one is actually from someone called Dr. Shenu, who's actually an instructor in Unacademy, and
I swear to God I am this close to jest.
I honestly thought men have the audacity, cishet men, but then I met upper caste people and I'm just like, wow, you guys really have the fucking audacity, don't you? Take generational wealth, take all the connections that your family members have, take all the caste privilege that you guys have, and you guys really want to cry about reservation. Your ancestors have literally oppressed an entire section of the society for thousands of years, and you guys want to cry about reservation. I'm more worried about the Bahujan people who go to such doctors, these medical students who become doctors, because how they're going to treat Bahujan people if they have so much resentment in their heart for them. Ja kar le Modi ko message, kar le. This is so apt because of course Unacademy is hiring casteist people.
कल्टिवेशन में क्या होता है, ट्राइबल लोग होते हैं हमारे, अब उनको दिमाग तो होता नहीं उनके पास कोई कानूनी कोई कागज होते हैं जमीन जायदाद के।
जिनको हिंदी नहीं आती उनके लिए शर्म की बात है, उनको हिंदी सीखनी चाहिए थोड़ी। अब वहाँ की तो देखो पॉलिटिक्स में बर्बाद कर दिया साउथ वालों के, जो दो स्टेट है मेनली तमिलनाडु और केरल, उनमें भी काफ़ी लोगों को आजकल आती है, फिर भी जिनको नहीं आती उनको सीखनी चाहिए। हाँ, इंग्लिश नहीं आएगी आराम से चलेगा, क्योंकि देखो इंडिया में रहते हो तो हिंदी आनी चाहिए, इंग्लिश ना आएगी चलेगा, उससे आपको कोई बेइज्जती नहीं, इंग्लिश नहीं आएगी। अगर हिंदी नहीं आती आपको तो वो बेइज्जती वाला मोमेंट है, वो बेइज्जती वाला जरूर मोमेंट है। हाँ, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी जरूर इंग्लिश वालों लेती है, कुछ कंपनी होती है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर हिंदी नहीं आएगी आपको नहीं चल पाएगा, आपका यहाँ काम नहीं चल पाएगा, इंडिया के बाहर काम चल जाएगा, यहाँ काम नहीं चल पाएगा।
तो यहाँ पर दोस्तों इस क्वेश्चन का समय शुरू होता है, आपके पास सिर्फ 30 सेकंड, लगाएंगे आंसर सभी लोग अभी, उड़ाइए सब जल्दी से। ना क्या मतलब मर भंगी नहीं कंजर राक्षस बिना। चलो इसका आंसर,
आप किसी ट्राइबल एरिया में जाते हैं, वो अपने नेचुरल एरिया में रहते हैं बेचारे, आज के टाइम में तो फिर भी नॉलेज है, उस टाइम में तो 80s के जो वो था उसमें तो कहानी नॉलेज थी, बेचारे वो अपने नॉर्मल अपनी कम्युनिटी के साथ जंगल में रहते थे, झिंगा लाला हूँ है ना, झिंगा लाला हूँ, हाँ इस तरीके से गाना वाना गा।
Like I mentioned in the reel responding to her reel, generational wealth, caste privilege, connection, just overall all the privilege that people have, and they want to leave all of that and cry about reservation. So this Dr. Shenu is not just some random person doing a random course and teaching a random thing at Unacademy. This is someone who is doing their MBBS. They're looking at patients almost every day. And I get if they want to make like real cringe videos about how people don't appreciate doctors, but what the fuck is this? It will always baffle me when educated people talk shit about reservation and other affirmative action. How is it not clicking? How do you not understand? And 10 times out of 10, these are the same people who will go abroad and make use of their affirmative action there and applaud them for it. And this was not all. Dr. Shenu was getting called out left and right, and after she saw my video about it, she made a self-victimizing post on Instagram saying how she doesn't feel safe anymore. Damn right you don't. My profile is not a safe space for casteist fucks. So Bahujan people have already done a lot of labor to explain to us all how reservation is not a poverty elevation program. It's not about wealth, it's about representation. India has a plethora of marginalized communities that are not represented in jobs and academics and every other sector, and hence why reservation. What's not clicking? At this point, I feel like people are being willfully ignorant. It's not a poverty elevation program. Just because a Bahujan person happens to have an iPhone or a Mercedes or happens to be wealthy, it doesn't erase the fact that they're still marginalized due to their caste. So yeah, this one should have stayed in the drafts, honey. Bonus, Dr. Shino also makes reels using casteist slurs.
जो कि बहुत डिमांडिंग होती है, मतलब बंदा हॉट नहीं हो गया ज्वालामुखी हो जाए। नाक टेढ़ा है दांत देखिए खुद ही कभी, चार बड़े बड़े चंडाल जैसे। पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन।
Let's get on to the next one. The other one is by someone called Yashvi Bagga, and she's made a reel highlighting all the privileges that reserved category students have. Just look at it.
जाना हो जहाँ वहीं जाता है, दिल उल्लू का पट्टा है, उड़ी तकदीर क्यों आजमाता है, दिल उल्लू का पट्टा है। बेसर पैर की है इसकी आदतें, आफत को जान के देता है दावतें।
So when I tell you guys that this is a subgenre of reels, anti-reservation reels, I'm being serious. So naturally Yashvi was called out for it, and after that she apologized, and after she was done apologizing, she went on to Twitter and tweeted about how people were being negative and sending her hate. All the while she was also liking tweets that said that she had nothing to apologize for and that the queen did nothing wrong. Seriously. People do know that their likes are public, right? Like, people can see what you're liking on Twitter. Anyway, Yashvi is not just casually casteist, she's also casually racist.
मेरा बिल्कुल भी हाइजीनिक नहीं होते, मतलब 20 रुपीज में कोई कैसे तुमको चिकन मोमोज दे सकता है? कुत्ते का मीट होगा, पक्की बात है, मेरी तो मम्मी मना करती है मेरे को।
Because obviously eating dog meat is such a yucky thing to do, na? Anyway, that should have stayed in the drafts, honey. This next reel is by someone called Meher Chaudhary, and this is another subgenre of Instagram reels where people use their domestic workers as props and make jokes on them and punch down on them, or in the least make them feel uncomfortable. I'll just show you. Thinking, but it's just a little fun thing, and I mean, they're not really making fun of them, and it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, except it is. So you can see from the body language of the domestic worker that they're not exactly comfortable sitting there while these two girls dance around her. A lot comes into play here, right? You have to take a lot of things into consideration. The fact that there's a power imbalance here. This is your domestic worker. Even if you take their consent before taking a video, what makes you think that they're comfortable saying no to you? If they do consent, do they understand the nature of Instagram? How many people are going to be watching it? How many people are going to share it? What kind of comments they're going to get? No, they don't know it. Consent is not always informed consent, right? Should mention that when I and a few of my friends tried to explain to Meher that she shouldn't be making such videos and using her domestic workers as a prop, she went on to say that she did not want to deal with the negativity and then proceeded to block us all. And this is just one of the many deals that I've come across where people have just simply used their domestic workers as props. And again, Bahujan people have done a lot to explain why this is problematic, because a lot of the domestic workers do come from marginalized caste backgrounds. So no, you can't just excuse this by saying that, oh, it's just a cute little dance video. It's not. It's more than that. So again, this should have stayed in the drafts, honey. Another subgenre of reels is pick-me reels. These are reels mostly by girls, and it essentially revolves around how they're much better than other girls. Yeah. These reels look something like this one. You know, shit like that would actually be funny if women's education wasn't cut off the moment they wanted to get married because ज़्यादा पढ़ लिख लिया तो फिर लड़का कहाँ से मिलेगा, or if they didn't have to give up on their jobs or their education the moment they wanted to get married again, or if the gender pay gap didn't exist. Most importantly, this shit is factually incorrect because most women pay for their own shit and they don't want to look like they owe something to someone just because somebody else paid for them, you know. As I mentioned in the reel responding to this person, this shit is factually incorrect. Most women do pay for their own shit. And you know, this video would have been really funny if they said the feminism leaving my body when the bill comes, because that would be a self-deprecating joke on the material reality of women. But that's not what they said. I'll show you another reel from this subgenre of pick me.
Money is the reason we exist. Everybody knows that it's a fact. Kiss, kiss. So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
If a group of people do not like you, it's probably because you're annoying as hell. Like, I get it. I get that people have beef and then people don't really get along with each other. But that does not have to be your entire personality, right? People really want to be out here living their Regina George fantasy. No, you're not a mean girl. You're barely the side character from Mean Girls who got punched by Regina George. You're just a sad, pathetic little person on the internet trying to get validation by putting other girls down. So again, this should have stayed in the drafts, honey. I think this is enough for this video. I know I'm going to come across plenty of reels that are going to compel me to make videos like these, which is why I made this a series. But I'm going to stop here for now. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And hit the bell icon. I'm getting good at this whole YouTube thing, huh?